Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Blind Nick, Unfiltered here, back with another video. And I'm sorry, guys, that I missed a few days there. Your boy has been kind of under the weather, feeling a little sick, but I'm trying to get back to feeling better, and I'm gonna bang out this video for you guys. So appreciate all the support and everything you guys have been showing this channel. But let's go ahead and get right into this video. In today's video, guys, we are going to be talking The Walking Dead once again. And we are still on Season 1, Episode 1. And I have found another topic that your boy wants to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the saddest secret in The Walking Dead. And in my opinion, it's about these two right here. And I'm sure a lot of you hardcore fans like your boy knows exactly what I'm referring to, but I'm sure a lot of the casual fans out there is not, you know, aware of everything that went down and what all took place. So I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys, as well as I'm sure y'all let me know if y'all think there was another, when y'all seen the title, were y'all thinking something else? I know a lot of people might be thinking about, Sophia or a number of other things. So y'all let me know in the comments below if y'all think this is the saddest secret or if y'all think y'all know of another one. Y'all let me know. But diving right into it, guys, basically what I'm referring to here is Morgan and Jenny and Duane. Okay, so what makes this the saddest secret, you might ask? Well, as all of you guys know, after Rick gets out of the hospital, he makes his way over to his house, and of course, he sees everything is missing, and the place is ransacked basically. And after it's all said and done, he goes outside, sits on the steps, and of course, Duane hits him with the shovel. And after some discussion, they go back to the house, and of course, Rick is like, he knows the people that where they're held up at. Of course, Morgan has no clue. That's just where they were holding up at when Jenny got sick and got bit and the fever took her and everything. And of course, they kind of froze in time because they were devastated. He couldn't move on. And after meeting up with Rick, they go to the station, they get get a nice hot shower, get all their guns and everything. And Rick gives him a sniper, literally gives him a sniper to take. And he plans on using this sniper to, after boarding up the place and everything, he tells Duane just read his comic books for a while. He goes upstairs, he sets up everything, and he literally shoots a walker, sees Jenny, decides, he knows he needs to pull the trigger. He knows in order for him to move on, he needs to be able to pull the trigger. Not just for him, but for Duane. And so he decides he's going to try to do it. And trust me, guys, I was right there with, if you're one of these people that was saying, screaming at the TV, saying he should have definitely, just pulled the trigger, I was right there with you guys. But then, I also try to put myself in his shoes. Like, if that would have happened to my wife, and the mother of my son, it wouldn't just be super easy. Yeah, she's not your wife anymore. Yeah, but you look at her and you still see the life you built together. You see, everything that y'all have done together. And you still see your beautiful wife. Yeah, it's harder for other people to see it that way. And we can all sit here and say all day long how we would handle the situation. But until we're actually put into that situation in his shoes, then, we would always handle it differently than what we think. But y'all let me know in the comments down below. If you were in Morgan's shoes, would you be able to pull the trigger and actually take out your own wife? Yes, she is the zombified version, but still I sympathize with him and understand how hard that could have been. But unfortunately, his inability to pull the trigger was also pretty much passed down to his son, if you want to look at it that way. Like later on, since he's not able to pull the trigger there, later on, when they're exploring another house in the neighborhood, trying to get supplies and everything like that, we find out in season 3, episode 12, Clear, where we find out more about Morgan and everything. He kind of breaks it all down and explains it to us that, when he went down to the basement to go explore, and see what kind of supplies he could get, that's when he told Duane to stay upstairs. Well, of course, Duane's upstairs. He's already learned how to shoot, everything like that. Help from Rick and Morgan teaching him as well. And he has the ability to be able to shoot and defend himself. So when Morgan comes upstairs, he sees Duane is sitting there holding the gun at his mom, who is still in the neighborhood from not being put down properly from Morgan. And so his inability to pull the trigger now has Duane faced with the same problem that he was faced with. And so he's sitting there trying to figure out, can he pull the trigger on his own mom? Which some might even argue that is harder for Duane to do since he doesn't have as much experience with the gun or killing walkers. And we don't even know if he's killed any walkers up to this point, and if he has, I'm sure it's never been anyone he knew or was related to, especially his mom. And so now this same inability to pull the trigger, Duane has the same problem. And I can't really blame him. I mean, I'm right there with him. It would be super hard for me to pull the trigger on my mom. Now, granted, if she's lunging at you and right in front of you, I'm sure that's a lot different than what Morgan had to deal with because, she was way over there. He was scoped in on her. That made it even harder. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and be blunt. Like, if my mom's lunging at me, the zombified version of her is lunging at me, I'm going to be, more capable to pull the trigger. But Duane was also, very young. So I could definitely sympathize with him as well. Well, of course, Morgan's able to put her down, but not until after she already bites Duane, which is like the saddest thing ever, guys. Like, oh my goodness. Can y'all imagine how crazy of a duo Morgan and Duane would have been? They would have been like another Rick and Carl, literally. So, and seeing the four of them together, they would have been amazing, what it could have been, guys. So, of course, after seeing Jenny bite into Duane, then Morgan's able to clear, like he says. But the problem is the damage has already been done, Once Duane's already been bit, then what more can you do, It's not like it was something where he was able to save him, It wasn't like a Herschel bite, like what happened with Herschel later on, and different things like that. So once he now has to face the loss of his wife and his son because he still hadn't properly grieved losing Jenny, and now he has to grieve losing Jenny and Duane at the same time because he's finally faced with that now that he's put Jenny down. And now that he's lost Duane, he can't bring himself to kill Duane either. So, of course, naturally he flees, the area and everything and just kind of sets up. He sees everything in red, like he says, and he just wants to clear. He just wants to kill everything in his sight, whether you're living, whether you're dead, whatever the case may be, And in all reality, he should have put his son down just like he should have put Jenny down. And I think it's the saddest secret in The Walking Dead, guys, because of the fact of what it could have been. What Duane could have grown up, to be right there alongside his dad. Because we all know Morgan Jones, whether it's in The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, he's an absolute beast. He's a leader in his own right, and he would have never been half as crazy and out of his mind if he did not have to face the loss of his son. Facing the loss of his wife was already bad enough, and we seen what happens to Rick later on when he has to face the loss of his wife. So like obviously we know that will make a man go crazy, but the fact that Morgan was so much crazier was because he lost both his wife and his son. And of course, we know that Rick goes through these same problems, but he doesn't have to face them both at the same time, guys. And I think that's what makes it so sad, because Morgan could have been so much more in the right state of mind if he could have just put Jenny down to begin with, dealt with the grief, and helped his son deal with the grief, and they could have moved on together, and then found Rick, and Rick would have been with Carl, and they could have had a much stronger group. And what our group could have been if we would have had Morgan and Duane. Do you guys think everything would have been a lot easier on our group if we would have had that father son duo of Rick and Carl, along with the other father son duo of Morgan and Duane? What do you guys think in the comments below? Is this the saddest secret in The Walking Dead? Or do you guys think it's something to do with like Sophia or one of these other, secrets in The Walking Dead that we'll discuss later on the channel? I appreciate all you guys watching. And like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Y'all be sure to drop a like for your boy. Thanks for all the support y'all have been showing on the channel. We're almost up to 30 subscribers, so y'all be sure to subscribe to your boy for all the Walking Dead content. And like I said, guys, I am legally blind. My name is Nick, and these are my unfiltered takes on The Walking Dead. And I appreciate all you guys. As always, God bless, and peace out.